got a lot of depth back there, secondary.
We do.
You reached a point where you can play so many guys without much of a drop off, and with that, you can sort of tailor some of them to let you know when to go.
We're at the point where we have enough experience at certain positions where we don't have much drop off from an athletic standpoint. We do have guys that have more experience than others at the position, but we're pretty fortunate right now, especially at the safety spot, where we have 4 guys that have played a lot of football over the last 2 years. You know, Dre moving from star to safety, for him, new position, but he's an experienced football player. The star position where we have Caleb Cost, Trey Miller, and Ty White, that's more of a regular group of guys who haven't played a lot of true game. Caleb had a chance of starting the bowl game. Trey's really moved there in the spring. Ty White's a freshman. So that position is a little bit young, but talent-wise, when they know what they're doing, there's not that much drop-off. So it allows us to go into a season knowing we have depth, and I don't have to play a guy 60, 70 snaps a game. It runs into some of the issues I did last year.
They have a lot of old around them. So they're young, but there's a lot of old, and you got Hunsey now back at corner.
Yes.
Sense coverage. How does the star position change a little bit with this defense with more press coverage?
It doesn't really change. What it allows us to do now is have Hunsey on the outside where he can cover a boundary or field receiver. But it allows us to have a guy inside who also can cover, but also play the run, also blitz off the edge, and do different things. So it just makes us more versatile, and we can leave a Hunsey outside and bring a guy inside.
Charlton, one more thing, I think. That's what he came there at.
Yeah.
And they're playing for showcase his skills, obviously, they got excited.
Yeah.
Are you still a really good football player now that he's getting the amount of stop reps at the corner, like what you saw last year when he was forced to play score?
No, because his body type at the next level is going to allow him to play slot corner or corner. So the skill set becomes the same. Him playing in the slot last year allowed him to make a lot of plays. You know, they can throw away from a corner. It's hard for him to move away from a star because he's involved in almost every single play of the slot. Most of the balls go between the slot receiver and the boundary receiver. So what you are seeing, though, is that he can really hone his skills at playing press, at just corner, where Star's a little bit of run fit, a little bit of safety, a little bit of corner, a little bit of blitzer. He's so focused on playing corner now, so his skill set is increasing by the minute, which is great for either.
Charlton, what's it been like working with Jeff Collins? Obviously, you guys both have a ton of experience in college football, but it's a lot of different experiences. This is your first time working with him. What's that?
I've known Coach Collins a long time. He actually tried to hire me years ago at Mississippi State, and they tried to hire me in Florida, and it just never worked out. So we actually get to finally reunite here in Chapel Hill. He's a great football mind. He's very passionate about the game. He pours into the players, and he pushes them to really play with effort and energy. No matter what the call is, he pushes them to play with effort and energy. So having a lot of experience, both of us in different realms, but a lot of times the schemes, the concepts, it's just different. You know what I'm saying? It's different names, but some of the same stuff. So there's not a lot of brand new teaching that we've never been around, which makes it very, very seamless.
So it wasn't a long process adjusting from Chiswick stuff to Collins stuff.
And it's just football stuff. I mean, a lot of these families of defense, there's only so many ways you can play cover three, so many ways you can play quarters and free. So what happens is, it's just a tweak here or there. It's a change here or there. It's a different look here and there. So on the back end, from that perspective, it's either cover three, it's quarters, it's cover two, it's man, all those different things. It's just the way in which he wants to implement it and down and down, which is awesome.
So much Marcus.
Yeah, but he's been strong. Where else? Put on the machine. And him, you see a guy that, as a freshman, sort of got his foot wet in special teams. Then as a sophomore, played a lot, but he wasn't as big as he is now. Now he's hitting his stride. And I told him this the other day. You're at the point now as a junior where you've taken your lumps up and down, being brave, been okay, and now you got a chance to come into your own. The development happens in year 3. And so for him, I think you're going to see a more focused, you're going to see a more diligent, and you're going to see a guy that now has game experience, so nothing surprises him. As a young guy, you get a formation, you get emotion, like, oh crap, not him. I think now he's more poised. He understands what's coming at him. He understands what's next. And because he's changed his body, he's a more physical player, and he already was a physical skinny guy. Now he's a physical thick guy.
One guy that I could really praise last week too was Caleb Paul said that star position, and you talked about him as well. What level of growth have you kind of seen from him from the spring to now, and just How is he such a natural fit at that spot?
I tell you, really great story with Caleb because he got a chance to start in the bowl game and make some plays. And then basically from January to June, he was a baseball player for our baseball team, right? Very talented. So he really only got four practices in the spring between the two sports, but he never lost a step mentally. He's been dedicated to play baseball, then come out here and know what to do in football. And he's had a really good camp so far, competitive. He's got speed, he's got toughness, and he's very, very coachable. So I think you're getting a guy that can help our defense because it allows us to let Huzzy play corner and allows him to be a slot corner, but give us that 190-pound figure in the run fit to come off the edge and make plays. And then you got to go cover guys like Nate in practice and make plays on the ball. So he is going to allow us to put our best 5, 6, 7 guys on the field and allow guys to play their natural position. So I'm really proud of him because a lot of guys can't miss 6 months playing another sport at a high level. Then come in here and roll and be ready to go. And that tells you it's a testament to how much he put into football in the offseason on the mental side to go right back in.
Charlton, along those lines with Caleb, like what you're talking about, the mental side of it,
Yep.
How did you see him try to approach doing both when he's over there and he's coming back over here? Like, how did you see him just go about staying sharp or getting deeper into the playbook?
I tell you, he was over here so much, I said, bro, you're going to get me fired because there's an hours limit. Because he would try to pull himself here, even if he couldn't practice, but he could watch at times. He could watch a lot of film on his own. So whatever we did in practice physically, he in his own time did mentally through tape. And if he had a day he could leave baseball, he was here at 6:30 in the morning for practice to watch us, even if he couldn't go because of hours. So he never wavered on his ability to learn the defense from the football stance. And he gave his best. So I think he's done about as good a job as you can do on the mental side of being able to balance being a two-sport athlete here at UNC.
And he got hurt too.
In baseball.
Yeah.
He tweaked his foot a little bit in baseball toward the end when it would make the College World Series runs. And then he was able to come back to football and throw himself into football on the mental side, yes.
Are there times where you see the baseball skill set come out and he's doing football stuff?
Oh, for sure. Hand-eye coordination. Like he could be running full speed, turn it, pluck a ball out the air, or knock a ball down. Stealing bases. He stole bases for baseball. So if he needs a blitzer, he can line up on number 2 and come off the edge. That first 10 yards for him is really impressive. And then, like I said, it's the hand-eye coordination and the ball skills that bring the two sports together for him.
DeAndre had a pretty good season 2 years ago at Star.
Yep.
Missed last year, and he was back at safety now. Is that because you guys have so much faith in Caleb, or is there also another reason why behind?
I think Dre's always been a safety. Then my first year, we moved him to Star, but he played his freshman year at safety. So he's a guy that can do both, just like Caleb. Caleb can play safety or star. Stick can play safety or star. Huzzy can play corner or star. In this package and in this secondary, everywhere I've coached, you got to be very versatile. We want to put the best 5, 6, 7, irregardless. So we do cross-train a lot. We have more depth at star, what allows us to have, instead of having 4 really good players at star, let's have 5 good players at safety, right? So moving Dre to safety, he's very physical. He makes a lot of plays in line of scrimmage. He loves to hit people. That allows me to put him in his natural position and then allow a guy like Caleb to go out there and play star.
Does that also address the need to have better, more consistent tackling from the safest spot?
100%. When you have guys athletically that can play with their feet underneath them, they can take great angles to the football. And again, the experience, right? Based on formation, based on the tight end, based on the back, they can anticipate things faster because now they're using the system. So I do think having the physical body types that can still do the other things he didn't do does help. And with Dre being a star, he was in the run set. He was a blitzer. Now you put him back at his natural position where you take that, having to cover a Nathan Cullen 50 times a game, he can really play safety and do a little bit more fitting the road.
I'm not too much on the start of the DC don't worry.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
These guys were DC don't worry in road anyway.
Mari Campbell came in Rucker. Well, I think Ruck, he's a lifeblood of our defense, him and Power Echoes. And I think you get a professional in Ruck, a guy that takes everything seriously, like meetings, treatment, meals. He holds other guys accountable. He's the leader of our defense. And then when you see Amari Campbell, you got a young guy that got started in the bowl game a lot like Caleb Cost, but now he's coming to his own because he's in the room with a great leader like Power Eckworth. He has a guy that can raise him the right way over these last 6, 7, 8 months, and he holds himself to a very high standard. So I like what I see out of both of those guys. Obviously, Ruck being the anchor of our defense, an Amari as an emerging young player that's been raised the right way by Power Eccles, and it's going to make a lot of plays for our football team.
Charlton, anyone can say, yeah, we're going to play press coverage. Like, I mean, that sounds cool. It's like a basketball coach saying, yeah, we're going to run. Right. You know what I mean? But like the actual doing it, the execution of it, how is that coming? What is the balance you're trying to strike there with the guys pressing on the outside? And do you think you can hold up?
Yeah, I think when you say press coverage, it's easy to say, it's harder to execute, right? Very easy concept. You get those cats, right? But now you got to execute. And I think what Coach Jones does and what I do is we do a lot of time on the fundamental and technical work. The athletic ability these guys have. But 9 times out of 10, when you give up something in a press or a man technique, it's because of fundamentals. It's not because of ability. So we spend a lot of time now that we know what we want to focus on. And it's not just one high man. It could be match quarters. It could be match cover 3. But the fundamentals are the same. So it's a lot of same as teaching. And so for the corners, they get it over and over and over and over in different concepts, which allows them to focus on their technique. And they've got to find ways to give them relief at times as well. So a team doesn't know 60 plays a game, they're on an island, attack them. Okay, we want it to look the same and play different stuff. But because we have more depth, because we do have a guy like Marcus Allen, and Elijah Uzzy, Stewart, Todd Adams, we have a lot of guys that from day one, starting January 1st, we've raised them on, we're going to defend every blade of glass, we're going to defend every blade of grass, and we're going to try to deny the ball and make quarterbacks make the tight window throws. So they've embraced it, because that's a part of it. It's so much the mental side of a guy saying, I buy into winning my box. I know that every single time it's going to be on me to do it, and they've all raised themselves to the challenge.
That's what I was going to say, just to follow up on that. You're talking about the fundamentals, but it's a mentality. It has to be a mentality shift, doesn't it?
That's right. Well, we played a lot of match. We played a lot of match in situations. Now that you just get to do it more. A guy like Huzzy going back outside as a coach makes you feel better about doing that as well, because you got a really talented guy moving back to his natural position. The how Marcus has developed, bringing in Stewart as a JUCO guy to play for 2 years, mixed in with young guys. So again, they've known the expectations since day one, and they've really worked their butts off all off season to do it.
We talked to Marcus as a realized that he was discussing the 11 pounds in his added.
Yep.
And that it's there because he has to knock what he said, the receiver off his landmark.
That's right. That's right.
And the disruption modeling, it was the easy access stuff.
That's right.
Now that you've had some of the days of physical stuff, have you seen the difference in there? They have it to knock the guy off his landmark.
100%. When it becomes a 50-50 ball, right? The body position and the strength really matter, because you're both tied up, and the bigger guy, the more physical guy, the stronger guy has a better chance to win that matchup. So what Marcus has done, 11 pounds of muscle gives him more force and more mass. So when he's competing for a ball, he has more to lean on a guy. It's like posting up in basketball, right? So what he's been able to do is disrupt guys on short routes and body guys on deeper routes, and he is a really long dude with big shoulders. So it's really helped him in his development to defend at an aggressive level when it counts the most.
But there's a quick follow-up to that. You seem to have confidence in him too, because he knows that added weight's making.
Yeah, when you hit the gym,
it's a different battle for him.
Yeah, if any of us, right, we hit the gym, we look in that mirror, and when we see something we like, we got a lot more confidence in ourselves. And I think Marcus has looked in the mirror, likes what he sees, and he plays with that same swagger. And that's what I see from Marcus that is different from the past. Young, talented guy working hard. Now I got an older, developed guy with swagger. And when you play with swagger, what you must do to cover another cat in this league, it makes all the difference. And I think you see a group of DBs playing with a tremendous amount of swagger, and it's real. They believe it, they've earned it, they worked on it, and now we just gotta go out in week to week and show what we can do.